Hello and welcome to Simon Says Artwork. In this video I'm going to be doing a drawing which I do in my old sketchbook, which is a lot of different ideas that I'm doing. What I'm going to show you is the inking process of a drawing that I do first in pencil, and it's an A5 sketchbook. It's a study of a guy that I saw in a shop. I took a little sneaky photograph of him, and that's where the reference is from. But just to kind of show you the process and how I ink things through, or how I did back then anyway, it's quite a nice drawing, so I wanted to share it with you. So, okay, let's get started. For this sketchbook, I was doing several characters where I would draw something which I thought was a nice image, which kind of stood out and looked quite bold and striking. And I like the idea of having different layers of clothing and different ideas for fashion. So I like this character for having a backpack, a bubble jacket, a beanie, being quite a large man like he is, not in a way of being in his weight, but I just mean he was tall, he was kind of, just a large bloke in that way, and he had a big moustache which was really, showed a lot of character for his face and things like that. And then what I would do with these characters once I'd drawn them was to have a kind of a diamond shape, but I started to offset it almost like an obelisk that's on a perspective so that it's flying towards you. If you imagine an action shot where something's been blown up and just a sheet of metal is flying towards the screen, that's kind of the perspective that I would use for some of these diamond shapes. And the reason being is that I wanted to see how it worked to make the character pop off the background without actually drawing any kind of buildings or environment behind the character. And it was interesting, but it wasn't something which I continued after this series of drawings in this specific sketchbook. Now you can see above the sketchbook there's drawings as well of like a strange fox character and someone with a beard and some flowers. I will include that drawing soon as well, but with these being from several years ago, I am trying to upload these so that you can start to see my newer work, which I'll be uploading in between these. So Monday's video was a hatching video which I did based on making a texture page, and I always try to make sure that each week I'm uploading something which I did recently, as well as sharing with you some of my older work, which I still really like, and I don't always do something like this. So I thought it'd have value in the reason that it's more rare for me to actually do a study from reference these days. It's even more rare that I do a pencil under drawing, so that's something which I thought might just be of interest to show where I've come from in my artistic development. It was something which at the time had its benefits because you could get the proportions right and you could rub out bits and pieces that go awry, but I did learn things a lot faster as soon as I stopped doing that. And I do recommend that as soon as you get to a comfortable place with your drawing, which is hard to tell what a comfortable place is, but what I mean is as soon as you're ready for that challenge to put the pencil down and to just draw ink first, I do recommend it. I think that it's got a lot of benefits to doing that. For me, it was making sure that the marks that I'd make are more confident, the observations that I would make are keener, and then the time would be cut in half. So the confident marks, what I mean is that instead of doing little scratchy pen marks, instead I'd start making big confident lines which would be a single stroke. And the reason being is that you're going to see that mark, it's not going to be like a pencil line. And I would start to try and develop my ability to draw stronger and stronger as I became an ink first artist. And then afterwards what I would do is I'd then try to challenge myself with different shape designs and different types of subject. So the things that I draw, I did a whole series on still life, and I will be uploading that soon as well. Maybe next week actually I might upload the still life video, and I think you'll really enjoy that. So anyone who is coming across this video, please keep an eye on the content that I upload, because I am trying to specifically place certain videos throughout the week for a reason, and it is building up to something which I'm looking forward to for the channel. I'm really trying to develop it where it will hopefully grow and in popularity and in size, really, and what I can actually do and provide. But yeah, so when it came to the confident mark making, that was something which happened. And then the next thing was my observations being keener. So let me talk about what I mean by that. When I'm doing a pencil drawing, I'm sometimes a little bit fast and loose, and I'll just make a few marks and it'll be an estimation of what I've seen. It won't be, or an approximation, I should say, of what I've seen, not really a very close estimation or an estimate. It would be just something a bit more glanced at, as opposed to really truly observed and noticed, where now what I do is I make sure that I look at horizontal and vertical markers. So for example, the vertical marker for this could be the hand that is going across his stomach is fairly aligned with his nose, and it's also fairly aligned with one of his legs, and things like that is a vertical marker, where if you were to look, then you'd say, oh, you know where the collars go into a V shape at the top to the zipper, that is a horizontal marker which is probably meeting somewhere around the hand. And if it's not quite there, then it'll be close enough where you can say it's about this distance away. Things like that are just markers that you can use in observations when you're looking at things in person. You can say, okay, so this looks around, it's close to this, and like where's the hand relation to the other hand, how far away are they, and what angles and what sizes, and things like that are really good observations to make, so that you're making more accurate marks. That's what I think is really making a good development in your progression as an artist, is to make keener observations. For horizontal markers as well, it's the same thing. It's the same thing as the vertical one, is that, the chin lines up with parts of the collar and things like that. Certain things just line up pretty close. Now this is me drawing in the diamond shape behind him, and for this I'm using my Tombow brush pen, but I think I'm actually using the other side, not the brush, but it's brush on one side and on the other side it's a bullet tip pen. And these are some of the other drawings from the book. So yeah, I really quite like this one. I thought it was quite a nice drawing. Okay, so that's the drawing done, and here it is, finished in the sketchbook. I quite like it. I think it's quite nice. Now obviously I finish off the background after the video is finished, but I think it's got quite a nice stance to the character. So I think it looks quite good, quite interesting, and I wanted to share it with you because I found the video and it's quite old, but I thought things like that are still quite a little time capsule for me for back then. And I think that was around 2016. I think it was around then, maybe it was 2017. But either way, that's how the drawing turned out. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, then please leave a like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell, and I will see you in the next video.